Robin McLaurin Williams was born on July in Chicago, Illinois, USA. His father, Robert Fitzgerald Williams, was a senior executive at the Ford Motor Company, and his mother, Lori McLaurin, was a former model and part of a prominent Mississippi family. Robin grew up in an affluent household, but he often described his childhood as lonely. Despite having everything materially, he spent much of his time playing alone with toys and developing voices and character skills that would later define his career. As a child, Robin was shy and overweight, often using humor to make friends and deflect bullying. He later attended Claremont Meness College and then Juilliard School in New York City, where he was one of the few students accepted into John Houseman's advanced program. There, he befriended fellow student Christopher Reeve, who would become Superman on screen and a lifelong friend of it. Robin Williams began his career as a stand-up comedian in San Francisco and Los Angeles during the 1970s. His manic energy, rapid-fire improvisations, and ability to switch characters in seconds quickly made him stand out. His big break came in 1978 when he was cast as Mork, an alien from the planet Ork, in the sitcom Mork and Mindy. The show was a hit and made him a household name. Robin Williams transitioned to film in the 1980s and quickly proved he was more than just a funny man. His range extended to both comedy and powerful drama. Some of his most iconic films include Good Morning, Vietnam, 1980, a role that earned him an Oscar nomination.
Mrs.
Doubtfire, 1993, he played a divorced father disguising himself as a female nanny to be near his kids. The Birdcage, 1996, a hilarious performance with a strong message about family and acceptance. Jumanji, 1995, a beloved adventure film. Dead Poets Society, 1989, as the inspirational teacher John Keating, he taught students to seize the day. Awakenings, 1919, a doctor working with catatonic patients alongside Robert De Niro. Good Will Hunting, 1997, as a compassionate therapist earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Aladdin, 1992, his unforgettable role as the genie showed his unmatched talent in voice acting. He improvised many of his lines. Robin was married 3 times and had 3 children. First wife, Valerie Villardi, married 1978-1988. Together, they had a son, Zachary Zach Williams, born 1983. Second wife, Marcia Garces, married 1989-2010. Marcia had been his nanny and later became a producer. They had 2 children, Zelda Ray Williams, born 1989, and Cody Allen Williams. Third wife, Susan Schneider, married 2001 until his death in 2014. Susan was a graphic designer. She remained by his side through his final struggles. Despite his fame, Robin was known as a loving father and deeply cherished his family. He often shielded his children from the limelight and wanted them to have a normal upbringing. Though wildly successful, Robin battled addiction and depression for much of his life. He struggled with alcohol and cocaine addiction in the 1980s, achieving sobriety after the death of his friend John Belushi. He relapsed in the early 2000s but sought rehab and treatment. In his final years, Robin was misdiagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but after his death, an autopsy revealed he had been suffering from Lewy body dementia, a severe brain disorder that causes hallucinations, memory loss, and confusion. Robin Williams earned tens of millions of dollars during his career. He was one of the highest-paid comedians and actors of his time, commanding $15–20 million per movie at his peak. However, he faced financial difficulties later in life. His expensive divorces reportedly cost him over $30 million, and he was forced to sell some of his properties, including his Napa Valley estate. He joked in interviews that he had to keep working to pay the alimony. Despite financial strain, he continued taking roles not just for money, but because he loved performing and making people laugh. On August 11, 2014, Robin Williams was found dead in his California home. He died by suicide at the age of 63. His death shocked the world. Afterward, his widow revealed he had been suffering from Lewy body dementia which had severely affected his mental and emotional state. Robin Williams left behind a legacy of unparalleled talent, kindness, generosity, and deep emotional intelligence. He is remembered not only for his brilliant performances, but also for his humanitarian work, his support for US troops, and his efforts to raise awareness about mental health. Robin Williams once said, "I think the saddest people always try their hardest to make people happy, because they know what it feels like to feel absolutely worthless, and they don't want anybody else to feel like that." His laughter touched millions, but behind the jokes was a man of great depth, intelligence, and pain. Robin Williams will forever be remembered as one of the greatest entertainers in Hollywood history.